Hello there, fellow humans. Welcome to my podcast. Thanks for tuning in. I am so very grateful for you to be here. I am Jaska Jost, and this is Interview with You. Today, not yet with you, today with a D. An amazing lady handling gracefully a long-term relationship, 3 kids, and life as an expat. You will learn that she may or may not be married to a dolphin. We will touch upon her tips and tricks on how to keep a long-term relationship running and handle 3 kids at the same time. There is again a lot of giggles and unsolicited wisdom. Make sure that next time the interview is with you. Get in touch with me to arrange it. The contacts are in the description of the episode and /or in the description of the podcast. And now, let's go! Hello and welcome to my podcast. Today I have here my precious guest, Dee. Precious lady, I'm very happy for you to be here. Welcome. I will say a little bit about you. So Dee is 47 years old. She's been married for a long time, 19 years of marriage, and she has 3 kids. They are no longer babies, but they are still kids, right? How old are they?
The oldest is 17, girl, and then the boy 13 and 13 and a half, so nearly 14, and 11, the youngest.
Okay, but still kids.
It'll always be the kids, right? No matter their age.
Absolutely. For us, I always tell my kids, you are my babies and you will always be my babies. They don't like it, but it's a fact. So, as you know, this podcast is about the relationships. It's also I find it very inspirational to be in such a long relationship. But I will first ask, let's start slowly. I don't know if you know, because there is this kind of a little test that goes over internet. It's about your favorite color and about your favorite animal. Have you heard it before?
No.
No? Very good. So that's good because it works better if you don't know it. So I would first ask you what's your favorite color and some deep reasons why. So not because it's pretty la la la, but so what's your favorite color and why, what does it represent for you? Sort of thing. So
my favorite color, I think, for clothes is blue. I don't know why, I feel nice in it. But for example, from nature, I really like autumn colors when there is autumn, because I like these deep reds, orange colors. It's somehow, I don't know. I like the multitude of colors the nature offers, and it's with the wet and damp soil, it kind of brings this feeling when you get connected to the nature, and the colors give you kind of like energy in your day. Before the gray, cold winter, it brings this fire, into your energy. It feels that it energizes. You have this fiery energy coming from the nature just before then everything goes to sleep.
And tell me, what is your favorite animal and why, as in what it symbolizes for you, and then I will tell you what it all means.
I think it might be kind of connected, the animal with the color, for me. I really like dolphins.
Okay, you mean no, it's just like you said, it's connected to the colors, and you were talking about orange.
I had the color I like to wear, and then the colors which, from the nature, which I like.
Yeah.
But my favorite animal is dolphin. It's I think, for as long as I can remember. I like because they are in the water, and you have this fluency of water when they swim. And what I also like about it is the way they communicate and the sense of their community. It's just that's what I like about dolphins.
That's so sweet. Now I will tell you what it means. Okay, so
Okay,
it's a test that goes around the internet. So I mean, I suppose it's not from Harvard University or something, but I think there's something to it. So the favorite color and like the reasons why and all that is supposed to represent you, which I like who you are, which I find it very nice. Like as you said. All the energy that the nature still brings and how beautiful it is. So you should sing into that because I think it figures. And for the animal, that's also interesting. Um, it's supposed to be your ideal partner. So
okay.
and I loved how you said how he swims and how they communicate and how
Yeah,
they have the community, how they swim in the water, which should represent, I suppose, emotions and stuff. So
I think I should ask my
which
husband
leads
about what is his favorite animal to see what his expectations for me are.
absolutely. I mean, I think it's a nice exercise. By the way, when I heard it for the first time, I have to always laugh when I remember it. I hope my husband doesn't listen to this, but when I thought of my favorite animal, it was a turtle, but which is very funny. But I mean, if I imagine my husband as a turtle, but it's because they are wise. Was my reasoning behind. But anyway, so is your husband your ideal dolphin, you think? Or
Um,
how far did you get from your ideal, well, I mean, hypothetical
I
ideal?
don't think my husband is a dolphin, no, but
Good. I think it's not legal to be married to a dolphin, so good, good.
no, but he likes to swim. Um,
Okay.
yeah, he started with diving, so maybe we get there one day.
So you know what? He's trying to be better for you. You see? You don't know it subconsciously.
No, no, no. I'm actually he
Maybe
does it
that's
for
that's that.
himself, and I'm happy for that because okay, with 3 kids, we really for a long time not having family here did not really had much chance to do something for ourselves. So finally, his dream of trying out the diving, he now has the chance when we don't have to be with the kids around the clock. So that's nice.
Yeah, that's right. I have a piece of unsolicited wisdom to this. Unsolicited wisdom. You seem to be very well aware of this, but I want to say anyway, like you say he does it for himself, but everything people do for themselves, they also do for us, because whatever makes a person happy, then makes him a happier person, and happy person is a happier partner, and so on and so forth. So, if possible, let's let our partners do what makes them happy, because in the end it's good for us as well, and we will have happy family. End of unsolicited wisdom. Also, there's something important to add. I didn't mention this, but yeah, we live in Luxembourg and we are both expats as it happens. So it's just to say how, like, I think it's very admirable to be in a relationship for such a long time and have 3 children. And I think the fact that you as an expat don't have any family here to help with the kids, it's makes you even more amazing, in case you didn't know.
Thank you.
Um,
No, but I think you can also we live in a same community, so I think we are really lucky also with the friends we made. We have like our own little family here. So if the shit goes down, there are people we can call on in case we really. So I'm grateful for that as well.
yes, they say it takes a village to raise a child. That's for sure true. So it's very good to have support. It reminds me, I was talking to a friend recently, and he was commenting on how people live in communities where they are born. I think he was referring to a particular part of Spain, where people live in a community, like a broader family community, in a little place where everybody knows each other. And he said, I couldn't live like this, to have your broad family all the time around you, people that you don't really, have much to talk about, that are so much different than you. And he said, yeah, I'm so happy I can travel and choose the people to surround me with, who are like-minded. And I've been thinking about it since, because to me it feels a little bit like that these broader family communities are a little bit like the expat communities, or for us, for us being here in Luxembourg and being Czech, we tend to meet with the Czech people to practice the language and stuff like that. But these are people who I'm pretty sure I wouldn't meet if I stayed in my homeland. So they are different than the people that I would normally surround myself with. And so it feels a little bit like the broader family community that my friend was referring to. And I think it's actually a good thing because it teaches you, I think, a very important skill, and that is to accept different people as they are, and love them despite the differences, and kind of live together with people that are different. I think it's a skill which is very useful, and that as many people as possible should have. But let's get back to your particular concrete relationship, because I think I find it like in my surroundings, I don't see so many, such long-term relationships. And so it's interesting to know and hear how it works. Like for people who, for example, if you are single for a long time and you want a partner and you think that everything is pink and always and unicorns throw up rainbows and everything is fine. And so how what would you say about a long-term relationship? Like, how does it feel for you? Like at times, is it the same always? Is it all pink? Is it as you imagined?
I think like everything in life, nothing is just like pink or rainbow. So there are days, to be honest, we are both working full time. As you said, we have 3 kids who are at school. They have after school activities, so we kind of don't have much time to see each other as much, because the whole day we are kind of at work or working from home. The kids are at school. The school days here are relatively long, so we picking up the youngest one, let's say between 5:30 to 6:30. By the time we get home, then you try to quickly feed the kids. They also have sports, so football, volleyball. So then you drive them to training, pick them up from training. So we kind of all get home and around 8 o'clock by the time you eat, and so there is not really that much time during the week for like many interactions. So okay, it can be sometimes good, and sometimes okay, you can have a stressful day, so there is not much time even to, like, let's say if you blow up, to have time to kind of make up or explain stuff, because it's just the day is too short. So it's mainly weekends. So if there are no any matches or competitions, then there is some space to be together half a day. So I think it's quite fast paced. So it's just the time flies. Difficult to be together sometimes. And I know family, when the mom works part time, so that they manage to kind of get more family time when they are like all together. But I think this is easier when the kids are younger. Now, when the kids are older, they have their friends and they also want to be. So it's still, we are kind of taxi drivers of our kids at the moment a lot. So I think this helps
Yeah.
kind of to keep, not to get too many bumps on a way. Like there is not much time to dwell on, like, conflicts, because there is not much time on them. I mean, of course we get frustrated with each other, I suppose, a lot or not. That I can't judge for my husband, but I think there is not much time to waste on it, like to waste on
Yeah.
arguments and stuff. So that helps sometimes, and sometimes not. Sometimes I would like to be,
Hmm.
able to sit down and discuss. Maybe, because I feel sometimes that the relationship gets stuck at some points, and there is really not much space to discuss it. We don't have a big house. We live in an apartment, one floor, like, apartment, so it's not even different levels. So there is no escape from anyone, so we kind of are like together, even though we don't have much time to discuss. But so that's why it makes it, I think, sometimes difficult to just sit down as two, because there is always a kid around, and I don't like to kind of hush the problems or in front of the kids or
Hmm.
discuss, because I think it should be something more personal and just, between us two, not to have to take into account also the feelings of the kids if they hear it, how to say it. So I think this is what I maybe, and as we mentioned, we don't have the family here, so it's not like, that you can drop off the kids for a weekend with the grandparents or something.
You have the disadvantage. I'm just thinking about like my family compared to yours, because you all speak the same language while we don't. So we have like a secret language with my husband, so we can still talk about stuff. I mean, I also prefer not to, if we have a fight, I absolutely prefer the kids not to be there. But even, even if you speak a different language, if you kind of raise your voice and it gets a bit heated, then the kids are absolutely not stupid, and they absolutely pick up on that. So
Of course, no. We get
uh,
like into arguments, not big ones, but we get. But the thing is, like, the option to just sit down and then just talk it over, it's a bit tricky here.
yeah.
And to be
The-
honest, in these 17 years we have kids, we had like twice, I think, a week. Twice, like, so 2 weeks in those 17 years when we were just alone. When the kids, we shipped them.
so so the advice to keep the long-term relationship running is, do not spend too much time together. Ta-da! It was a joke. Let's continue.
My hopes are when the kids get like bigger and bigger that, we will be able to get some more alone time.
So
Well,
that's very sweet. You mean alone, like alone with your husband, or
yes,
alone like
yes.
alone?
No, I mean, I think we can get alone time, because, this is when you try to make sure that when you telework, that the other one works from the office, so at least you get some alone time. But no, to be able to go somewhere on our own, just without the kids. That
Mm-hmm.
would be nice. Hmm.
That's I find this actually very nice, because quite frankly, more often than not, before I want the time with my husband, I really absolutely need the time alone. It's maybe, I don't know if it's sad or strange, that I really need first to be alone, then spend my time with
No,
my
no, that's
husband. But
I think that's normal, because you need to ground yourself, and I think I am able to get an alone time. That's not a problem. I mean, every week and I'm a night owl, so I usually get it when everyone goes to sleep, and then I can be with me and my, myself and my head. But I think both of us, we are able to get an alone time. That's not our issue. It's like, to just maybe just us to go to cinema or something.
yeah, or go
Something else than Disney or Marvel. So
yeah,
this,
or go away for a weekend. That sounds like always like
yeah,
basically impossible, right? You know what? I would like to ask you something. What do you think is the key for a successful romantic relationship? Like, of course, jokes aside, I know it's not to spend time together. So what is your magical trick?
Oh gosh, I to be honest, I'm not sure because I'm not. I don't feel my relationship is totally successful. I mean, we feel like 19 years. If you are in a long-term relationship, and of course, they are like the period of this when you are in in love, and these pink glasses that kind of goes off, yeah, and then you have kids and you start to have issues at work and the kids are sick and you have to deal with, I don't know, something happens with your family back home, and so there are factors which don't help to this relaxed feeling and everything is perfect. I think this is it, to have times for just the couple, which we kind of don't manage to somehow organize. But what we make fun with friends, it's like, just if you want to make sure that your marriage will last, just have a mortgage or something which keeps you together, because it's more struggle than not to.
Still, I think that there are relationships that have kids and have mortgages, and they still fail, or I don't want to say it's a failure, but when it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And my question was more like, what do you think, like at the beginning when you chose your now husband, why was he a good choice? What do you think makes you a good couple? Because yeah, I mean, of course, it's not always pink, as we say, but I mean, 19 years, you are doing something right. Because 19 years, three
Okay.
kids, it seems that it's working. Okay, like of course up and downs, but
Yeah.
so what do you think? Where did you do well?
Okay, I cannot talk to for my husband, yeah, how he is managing to survive with me for such a long time. Well, it's both sides,
It's
right? I
because you
mean,
are awesome.
I'm okay. I'm not always happy with him. I'm sure he's not always happy with me either. Yeah, I mean that goes both ways. And I think this is one thing, I think which we have to be kind of honest about. If I get frustrated with him, he for sure gets frustrated with me as well. So I think this is sometimes, what I have in my mind is okay, it's, oh, he goes on my nerves, but then I say, oh, I'm sure going on his nerves as well. So I think this acceptance of also not being the perfect partner for someone, then you try to also not be as hard judge on on the person, because you don't want them to be hard judge on you either. Everyone, we all have our flaws. So I think that's to accept. And when I married him, I knew things where I knew he's not perfect, or things he's not good at, or so I don't expect that to change. So these things I try not to get frustrated with, because I knew what I'm getting when I was getting it. So I'm not going to try now to
Yeah.
look for something. So yeah, it's more, I think it's about that, just to accept that we all have our mistakes or our flaws, and
Hmm.
that the other person also have to live with ours. But you can't throw it in their face, because I
Yeah.
mean it's not fair.
Yeah, yes, exactly. That's what I signed up for. I knew it. It's not like that. Okay, if he comes today and says he wants to be, Jehovah Witness, this is a kind of a deal breaker, because I didn't sign up for that.
This makes me to think quite often, of my grandma. She had really long lasting marriage. I think they were together like 50 years, over 50 years. And she was saying, look, he doesn't drink, he doesn't beat you, and he works and take care of the kids. And I thought it should be normal that the man doesn't beat you and that he doesn't drink. But at the end, the longer you are, I mean, you start to realize, like, this little, I mean, it's like really going back to basic, to really our ancestors, it makes difference if you have someone who, even though sometimes maybe you don't have this most romantic days or whatever, but with the kids your priorities also change. And if you have a partner who goes and pick up the kids or takes them and does stuff with them, and drinking, heavy drinking, that doesn't bring any happiness to any home,
No, no,
right? I
that's
mean,
for
we are not
sure.
talking about a glass or
But
two of
I just,
evening. So at
yeah,
the
yeah,
end,
no, no.
in the tough moments, I think if you think about back to basics, it's actually still valid. So if you have a partner and you see that the kids like him and that he's good for your kids as well, this is something you definitely can respect, and that also can, that also keeps the relationship
Yeah,
going.
absolutely. Because after I've had kids, really the perception of my previous relationships changed very much. Like, I thought, oh, I thought I loved that person, but like when I saw my child, no, I never loved anybody basically, as much as I love my child. But with the kids also, and with time, because I mean I've been married for now 10 years, which I mean it's just as admirable because it's a long-term relationship. And
Every year
um
counts. Yeah.
yeah, every year counts. And it's true that like the relationship really, or the, I say, yeah, the relationship changes in a way, like it progresses toward completely different places. Yeah, after I've had kids, I mean, of course I love my husband, but it's completely different kind of love than at the
Yeah.
beginning. Because at the beginning, yeah, you don't you don't see, right, some stuff. And after years of life, I see this flaws that gets on your nerves. But at the same time, you also see things which you appreciate, and also you see him as a person that's so important for your kids. And since you like love your kids unconditionally, and then he is so important for them, you also love him for that. So that's like literally so complex. But I wanted to say, because I had this theory on, it's very simple actually, how to choose your partner. Yeah, it's super easy. You just have to like be attracted to them. It helps. It's like one thing. And you have to have like common goals. Like I think that's about it. And of course that they are not mentally ill or abusive. That's I hope goes without saying. But if you love somebody and you are attracted to them, but you want to live in a small village somewhere hidden, and they want to be a rock star, it will never work. Or you have a partner that you love dearly, but he wants to sit in front of the TV the whole day while you want to go to sports and or travel. This is not compatible. And then it's not to say that there's anything wrong with either. No, I mean, you do you. I think in order for a relationship to work, it's like to have common goals. Yeah, you want kids, you don't want kids. There is no way this can be compatible. You cannot force people for this like big life goals to accommodate you. I mean, I think then it's time to break it up. Well, I want to say, I used to think when I was younger that once you find a big love and these huge feelings, then that you have to make sacrifices and I don't know what, just to keep the big love going. But I don't think so now anymore. In fact, I think you need to know yourself, to know what you want, and find somebody that wants the same things, at least the major things. Okay, I mean, maybe the lying on the sofa versus doing sports is not such a deal breaker. Maybe it was not a good example, but the big things, like I want to live in the countryside and you want to live in the city, and none of us can imagine the other life and would have to make some big sacrifices. I think that's not going to work, or having kids and stuff like that. So that's that. If that's my theory, but I know nothing. I'm just married for 10 years. I want to ask you one more thing, to kind of end up on a positive note. What are the things that you appreciate about your husband? Like, what are the things that if you think of him, like, yeah, this is his good side.
The fact that we can, I think, rely on each other. I can rely on him because this is about him. When it comes to the kids need to be picked up. This organization of the free time of the kids, and I really appreciate that he likes to go on, biking and everything. So this is what the kids do with him, because I can go on bike, and it's not something I lately enjoy much. So I appreciate that he takes the bike and goes with the boys, or goes and kick the ball, or he always forces me to go for ski holidays. I kind of like mountains and snow. I'm not really that a passionate skier, because I learned really late and I'm not really good at it. But it's actually his doing that the kids really love skiing and are good at it, and they always want to go for these ski holidays, and they really enjoy it. And we go with other families, so it's really actually nice always experience. So this is really his achievement, and it kind of drives me nuts, but actually I really appreciate it a lot. He's the treasurer of the family, so he has all this in check. As I say, he drives us nuts a little bit with his treasurer mind. He can be tough, but I'm really grateful for that, because I know he keeps our finances in a good state. So I appreciate that. As I say, this is not a source of always good situations, but I really appreciate him for that. Maybe I should tell him. Maybe he doesn't know. Yeah, I'm really grateful how he he's with kids, even though he struggles a little bit now, and I think that can be tough, for anyone, especially maybe that, I don't know, it depends what culture you came from as well, because we grew up in a communistic era in 70s, 80s, which let's say how the relationships were or the marriages were, it was a bit specific. So we it's not like we saw much of this very nicely functioning, let's say, relationships. So he struggles a little bit, let's say, now with our daughter, who is really 17, and the hormones, and he tries his best. And also now his mom is alone, so he always makes sure that at least once a month he goes there. It's just you appreciate it, that he kind of is there to take care of people, or even if there is something back with my family, I know that I have his support. So I think this is what I really appreciate about him.
A lot of things, and I think this is another thing about successful functional or semi-functional relationships. I think it's important also for you to feel good in it, to really consciously, and sometimes you force yourself to think about what you appreciate about the people, and not to take it for granted, because it helps to ease the way sometimes when the things are not easy. You should also think about the things you appreciate about yourself. This is the same exercise, and you should do it every day, because who else will do it for you?
The helping hand you always find at the end of your arm, right? But this is a similar thing.
Exactly. It's nice to know your qualities and appreciate them, because then sometimes you're the only one who does that. But it's good. Okay, I think we will end up on this positive note. So appreciate our partners and don't take things for granted, because this is good for the relationship to be functional. And I will thank you very much for your time. It is very inspiring, your whole life, and the way you handle it one-handedly, very well. So thanks much for your time, and maybe I'll see you another time also.
Thank you for inviting me.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So that went well. Thanks for joining us today in Interview with You. I hope you enjoyed the time as much as we did, and that it brought something positive to your day and to your life. Don't forget to get in touch if you want to be my next guest, or if you have anything else you want to share with me. The contact details are in the description of the episode and / in the description of the podcast. But if you're lazy or you have rather audio memory, my email address is jaskajost without any space and spelled with J's. That is JASKAJOST@gmail.com. I'm also on Facebook under Jaskajost. I look forward to hearing from you and to possibly having the next interview with you.
Dropping their guitars at last. Some are trying